Yesterday we were studying about the oscillations of liquid in YouTube, and I just gave you some description about the floating oscillations of a floating cylinder, and I think till this time we have just discussed a number of cases of simple harmonic oscillations like of simple pendulum, and which factors can affect it, like the oscillation of liquid in YouTube. Also when we are joining so many strings, then what will be the case of oscillation at that time. So we have just taken all these things, and we have just seen that in that portion, if some of the particular limitations and some of the cases are put there, then it can perform simple harmonic oscillation. Like when we were talking about the oscillations of liquid in YouTube, then in that case we have just taken the case there should not be presence of any other medium when we are taking, there should be only a YouTube, and also there should be some liquid column. And also when we are talking about the liquid, then that liquid, if raging or falling, that is occurs there, then in that case there should not be any mass that should stick in YouTube. Means all of the masses should be displaced from there. Like you know that if you see the water in any glass tube, then if you just remove waters from the glass tube, then some of the waters are left in that. Means some of the weight and masses are left there. In that case, in simple harmonic oscillation it will not be possible. But here we have to take an ideal liquid also. So that ideal liquid should not stick on the walls of the YouTube. So these are the particular ideal cases to perform for the performance of simple harmonic oscillation. So I think that all things you have understood it. So in this case also some limitations we are taking, as we are talking only about the simple harmonic oscillations. I am not talking about damped harmonic or forced harmonic here. Only damped and forced harmonic oscillations. I have just gave you a description about that, what is this and what is real oscillations, because without it you cannot understand the real things. Basically you are seeing that when their bob is oscillating in real way, after some time it gets stopped. So that is the case of damped harmonic, and what is the reason behind this I have just explained. And if we want to convert this damped system into simple harmonic system, then we are using forced harmonic oscillations there by the resonant property, and I have just explained that also. So here we are taking the case of or examples of the simple harmonic oscillation. So in case of floating cylinder, in this liquid in which it is floating, that liquid should be at rest. This is the particular case here. Means no relative motion between these liquid molecules should be here, because due to relative motion obviously there will be some properties of viscosity here, and that viscosity property will retard the oscillation. Means it will be converted that time into damped harmonic oscillation. It will not be simple harmonic oscillation. So first of all, while discussing it, it is understood in your mind that this liquid is, there is no relative motion in the particles of the liquid or in any molecules of the liquid. This it completely it is at rest here. And if there are some displacement are made in the case of this cylinder, then again we are taking that due to this displacement there is no relative motion of the water liquid that is taking place here. Because still if we will take obviously you know that if we are just displacing, so we are making some displacement of this, then due to that displacement some water will be displaced from here, and due to displacement of water obviously there will be some relative motion that will be generated in this liquid or water. So in that case, due to that relative motion obviously the viscosity property that will arise there. So if viscosity will be there, then in that case that viscosity will try to retard it. So here again that case will become the case of damped harmonic. So totally we are taking an ideal liquid here. That ideal liquid is completely at rest. It is not opposing the motion of any system that is oscillating in it. We are taking the simple this case. So the case is very simple. This is the cylinder, and in the ideal or equilibrium condition, suppose that it's this part, L part, is just dipped already, or it is inside the liquid in the starting way, and now we are just displacing, or we are dipping it more in the liquid by some displacement y. So now what is the case? That is, suppose that there is a verb, we are displacing it by the application of some force or pressure on it. So here we are just pressing it, or we are applying a force on it. Due to displacement, due to application of force, some of the mass will be displaced from here, and due to that displacement of the mass of the liquid, buoyancy force that will be acted on this system. By the Archimedes principle, you know that if any body that is floating, and due to its weight, it will displace an equal amount of water that will be equal to its weight, and that water will be displaced, or that liquid will be displaced from it, and due to the displacement of the liquid and equal and opposite force that will act on the system, because if we are causing any disturbance in the system, then that system will try to regain its original property. This is the tendency of the nature. So due to that, it will try to oppose it by an application of force, and the direction of force that will be totally opposite in the direction of displacement force. So in opposite force that will be acted here, and its value will be equal to the mass of the liquid that is displaced due to this floating cylinder here, and it is known as buoyancy force, or in other way you can say that this is the restoring force that is developed in the system. So as you are seeing that all conditions are resembles with the simple harmonic motions conditions. Like in simple harmonic, if we displace any ball, then due to displacement, a force is acting on the system that will try to bring it in again in its equilibrium condition, and that is known as restoring force. Here also we are seeing that due to displacement in the floating cylinder, a buoyancy force or restoring force that is developed in the system, and this force will have tendency to bring this floating cylinder to its original positions, like it was in the case of X. And due to this property, an oscillation will be set up in the system, and that oscillations will be whether simple harmonic or not. You can easily calculate it, and yes, this will be simple harmonic case as all the conditions are resembling with it. Clear? And this force, obviously this buoyancy force will be directly proportional to this displacement y. Let's see how. As you know that for the restoring force, if it is showing this property, then the system will oscillate simple harmonically. You know that. And also here, if displacement y will be greater, then due to greater displacement in y, greater mass that will be displaced from here. And if greater mass or greater mass of liquid that is displaced from here, then greater buoyancy force will act on it. So definitely we can simply say that this buoyancy force or restoring force that is directly proportional to this displacement y. Greater will be the displacement, greater will be the restoring force. Lower will be the displacement, lower will be the restoring force. And also we are seeing that the direction of displacement is in downward direction, and direction of restoring is in upward direction. So it is also in opposite direction, and it is also proportional to this. So this is totally satisfying the condition for the simple harmonic oscillation. So this floating cylinder will oscillate simple harmonically. So this first factor, I think that is clear, and we have proved it. So after that, if this is oscillating simple harmonically, then what will be its time period? What will be its frequency? So first of all, to calculate its time period, what we need, the spring factor we need here. In every cases, we need two factors. Time period is given by T is equal to 2 pi root inertia factor upon spring factor. So inertia factor we needed, spring factor we needed. So inertia factor will be given by its mass. If there is not any angular movement, then inertia factor will be simply represented by its mass. So if you know the mass of this cylinder, then in that case we can easily explain, we can easily obtain its inertia factor. So first of all, suppose that the material of the body of this floating cylinder, that is has the density rho. So and the cross sectional area is A and the total length is capital L. So the mass is given by volume into density. And what is the volume? As the cross sectional area is A, L is the total length of this floating cylinder, so its volume is equal to A into L. And if you multiply this factor by its density, then it will gives us the mass of the floating cylinder. So the first factor which we needed to obtain the time period, that we have obtained already. So this is the inertia factor. Inertia factor. Clear? Now for calculation of restoring force, or with the help of restoring force we can calculate spring factor. As you know that in simple harmonic oscillation, this equation is followed by the particular body. Then obviously after solving it, constant that will be obtained here, and this constant is known as spring factor. So with the help of the calculation for the restoring force, we can easily obtain what will be the value of spring factor. So let's see how can we calculate it. So first of all, for the case X, when we only L part of the cylinder that is inside the liquid, then in that case, obviously due to this L part, when cylinder was outside and now we are allowed to float it on this liquid, then due to floating property, obviously some of its mass is inside, then it means that it will also displace some of the mass of the liquid from here. After that it will be able to keep it inside or able to float on it. So what will be its value? So that will be, first of all, you can easily calculate it by mass into gravity, as this restoring force is equal to Buoyancy force, and that force is equal to mass of liquid that is displaced here. So what is the mass first is there? So mass of liquid that is displaced from here, that can be calculated in the same way as we have calculated here. So what is the volume that is here? So A into small l. Okay? Due to this small l, mass of the liquid that is displaced and cross sectional area is A. So total volume due to which mass is displaced from here, that is A into L. And now if you multiply the density of liquid in it, then it will gives us the mass of the liquid displaced due to this volume A into L here. And now multiply G in it, then it will gives us the case for this floating cylinder. Clear? So from here, if you also you can write it, suppose it is capital M, we are writing small m, that is equal to A as sigma into. Okay. So mass of the liquid that is displaced, that is A L into sigma. Simply you can also write it from it here. Clear? Now let's see the case of Y. I think in this section there is no confusion here, which is what is the mass that is displaced, AL into sigma. This is displaced mass in this case. Now we are allowed to displace it by some amount Y also. So total displacement is what? That is L plus Y. So due to that displacement, the restoring force that will be acted here, and it will be also the mass of liquid that is displaced from here due to the volume. Now what will be the volume? That will be length into its cross sectional area, or what is total length here? L plus Y. So L plus Y into cross sectional area A into density of the liquid that is displaced into gravity. So this is M total, means mass of the liquid that is displaced by this volume A, L plus Y into A, and this is gravity. So I think there is no confusion at all. So what is the final restoring force that is acting in this system? So the final restoring force, that is F2 minus mg, or simply you can write it, its value is, don't write it here. In first condition F1 is the restoring force, in second condition F2 is the restoring force. So final restoring force, that will be F2 minus F1, clear? Or you can write simply F1 minus F2 also, but it is acting in upward direction, so here I am just taking minus sign outside it. So now let's write its value. So what is the value of F2? That is L plus y a sigma g, and minus what is the value of F1 that we have obtained, that is L a sigma into g. Now if you solve that, this factor L a sigma into g, that will be cancelled out from here, and finally what can be obtained, that will be y a sigma into g. So this value is obtained from here. I think in this section there is no confusion. Two cases we have just taken. First case is when this case is X, in which already in equilibrium condition L length is inside the liquid, and for that case obviously some restoring force will be also acted on that, and that restoring force will try to oppose its dipping property for the floating cylinder, and of that restoring force will be equal to this. And now we are displacing it by some amount y, then due to hole displacement again some liquid will be displaced, and that again a buoyancy force will be acted on it, and means again a restoring force that will be acted, and that restoring force will have value this. So what is the final restoring force that is system on this body? So that final restoring force will be due to this displacement y only. So you can solve it and you can see that this is due to this displacement y. Then if you are seeing in very simple way, this due to this displacement y, this is volume and this is density. So this is mass of the liquid displaced due to this displacement y, and it's into gravity here. I just wanted to actually explain this because in both the conditions this is the same thing. So only here finally the displacement that will be due to this displacement, as it is already in equilibrium condition, so there was no need to take it, but still I have just explained if you are confused. So it means you must not be confused from it here. So what we got here, this is F is equal to minus y a sigma into g. So as we obtain this formula here, we can arrange it like a sigma g into some y. Now we are seeing that this formula is just like F is equal to minus ky. So this is the spring factor, or also you can see that this cross sectional area that is constant, this sigma density of liquid that is also constant, this acceleration due to gravity that is also constant. So this whole factor is constant, then F is directly proportional to minus of y. So we have already here proved that by mathematically also this system is oscillating simple harmonically, as the restoring force that is directly proportional to displacement y that is occurred in the system, and also it is acting in opposite direction, means it is trying to bring it in its equilibrium condition, in its original condition, original configuration. So that will have always tendency. So that's why system will start to oscillate simple harmonically. So now if you are solving this proportionality, then here we can obtain some constant k, and that constant is spring constant, spring factor here. So what is spring factor? If you can just compare these two. So what is the value of k that is obtained? A sigma g. Now we have obtained two main things that is needed to calculate its time period. First of all, the inertia factor that we have already calculated, and second, the spring factor that we have calculated by calculating restoring force acting on this. and I think in the whole section there is no confusion. Still, let's see it one more time. We have taken a floating cylinder here. We have taken this in the equilibrium condition. Suppose that L length is inside the liquid, and due to this L length, obviously some mass of the liquid that will be displaced from here, and due to that displacement, a restoring force, a buoyancy force will act on it to bring that mass of the liquid to in its equilibrium condition, to its original position. So there will be a restoring force that will act in the system. And now again, after that, if y displacement is taken place in this system, then due to that displacement y, obviously more mass of the liquid that will be displaced, and obviously due to that more restoring force that will be acted on it, and that we have calculated by some F2. And if we are taking the difference of these two restoring forces, then the total restoring force that is acting on this system of floating cylinder, that can be calculated, and we have seen that that restoring force is directly proportional to this displacement y. Since it is only depending on this displacement y, what is the displacement? Greater will be the displacement, greater will be the restoring force. Smaller will be the displacement, smaller will be the restoring force. So this will perform simple harmonic oscillations totally. And now if you compare, then we can calculate what is the inertia factor here. Sorry, spring factor here. Now we have these two terms, spring factor, inertia factor. Now we can calculate the time period of the oscillations of a floating cylinder, and this can be equal to 2 pi inertia factor divided by the spring factor. So that is equal to 2 pi root, what is the inertia factor? That is L rho into this. This is the inertia factor, this is the spring factor, and here this quantity will be cancelled off. So finally what can be obtained? This value is obtained as L rho sigma into G. Okay. So this is the time period for a floating cylinder, or that is oscillating when it is dipped inside any liquid, any ideal liquid. So this is the formula for the time period. And suppose that if density of the material of the floating solid and density of liquid both are same, then in that case these two factors will be cancelled out, and it will be totally dependent on only this length and G. Means the formula will be converted totally just like we have the formula for the simple pendulum, 2 pi root L by G. So first of all, the factors which are affecting the time period here, let's see that. So the factor that is affecting the time period, that is length of the floating cylinder. So greater will be the length of the floating cylinder, greater will be the time period. Means the rate of oscillation that will decrease. Means to complete one oscillation it will take more time, so a time period will increase here. And also second factor that is affecting, that is the density of the material. Means greater will be the density of the material through which floating cylinder is made up of, and greater will be the time period. Means if we want rapid oscillation, then we should take the low density material, and that will help us to for the rapid oscillation here. Suppose if you want very rapid oscillation, then you have to take their low density material. Clear? And also you can take the length of the floating cylinder very less or very low. Clear? So these two factors can affect directly to the time period. Next, rest of the two factors also depend affected, that is the density of the liquid that is taken. So greater will be the density of the liquid, less will be the time period. Means the oscillations will be more rapid. as time period is decreasing here. So means we can also get rapid oscillation with the help of low density material of the floating cylinder, high density liquid that we can take here. With the help of these two we can also affect the time period easily. Rest of the thing that is affecting is that is acceleration due to gravity. So if gravity is changing, then with the change in gravity, time period will also change. So first of all, four factors are affecting the time period here. So we have to keep, if we want to get a constant time period, constant work, constant clock we want to make through it, then in that case we have to keep these four factors always constant. Means length of floating cylinder, density of the material, density of the liquid that is taking the acceleration due to gravity, because here four factor can affect it, and according to these four factors oscillations can be changed, frequency can be changed, time period can be changed. Now we can calculate what is the frequency of oscillations here. So as you know that this is the reciprocal of time period. So finally what can be obtained as it 1 upon root 2 pi sigma g upon L into rho. So this is the formula for the frequency of oscillations of a floating cylinder, and obviously this will be as inversal of this. So more actually when time period is decreasing, like we are talking about the rapid oscillation. So rapid oscillations mean we are talking about the increment in its frequency, and if we are talking about the greater increase in its time period, then in that case oscillations will be slowly, and in that way in 1 second that system will perform less oscillations, less number of oscillations, so frequency will decrease here. So in this way the frequencies and the wave, time periods can be affected by these factors. So according to your need we can take the density of material, we can take the liquid in which we have to make oscillations, and also we can take the length and the gravity according to clear. So I think this example of oscillations of floating cylinder, that is clear to you. This we have just seen a number of examples and applications that is based on the simple harmonic motion, and we have seen a number of cases through which we can obtain simple harmonic oscillations, like through the liquid we can obtain it, through the U-tube we can obtain it, through a simple pendulum we can obtain, through the spring mass system we can obtain it. So I think all these things that are totally clear to you, there is no confusion at all in this thing. So the all cases of the oscillations, that is totally I think clear to you, and first of all let's summarize them once more. For the simple harmonic oscillations, for the damped and for the forced, let's summarize it again. For the case of simple harmonic oscillations, we have seen that in that case there is the case of free oscillations, means no resisting forces, no damping forces are applied on the system. And if some of the damping forces or resisting forces working somewhere, then it will affect the oscillations. Means in the case of simple harmonic, as we have seen, its time period is infinite. Means if once a system will be in oscillation, that will never return to its equilibrium positions. Means for infinite time it will oscillate. And in damping condition, if some of the resisting forces that is acting, then that will reduce the displacement, or that will reduce the amplitude of the oscillation so rapidly. Ultimately the system will come to a stop. And the third thing is that in the case of forced harmonic, we are forcing the system to oscillate by some other frequency, or suppose we are forcing the damped harmonic system to oscillate just like the simple harmonic system. So whatever finally we are doing we are making every system to oscillate simple harmonically to get a continuous energy, to get a continuous oscillation or continuous amplitude. So that's why in every system we are doing the same. So we have taken the example of simple harmonic oscillations there. like when we are attaching a mass in the horizontal way, then in that way gravity will not play any role. So obviously we have seen the case, what is the restoring force acting in it and what is time period. So time period, that is obtained just like 2 pi root k by m, sorry, m by k. And when we have taken the case of vertical oscillations, suppose that this is the spring and vertically it is projected, then in that case it will oscillate. Then in that oscillation gravity will play a role, and there we have seen the case of 2 pi root L by G, we have seen the time period. And also this time period is obtained in the case of simple pendulum, when a bob is attached to any wire, that is free to oscillate, then in that case. And also in every cases we have just make some assumptions to make it idle. We are taking actually case of free oscillation, so there should not be the presence of any resisting forces. So while discussing these all topics, I have just told you what are the conditions we are imposing here for the simple harmonic oscillation. So I think in the summarized way that is clear to you. And here today the chapter ends here, so, and let's end the class here also, guys. In next classes we will see some conceptual problem based on this chapter. So let's end it here. Thank you.